Okay, we got wires everywhere. This is a little bit different angle. We'll see how it goes. Bros Knows episode 61. Welcome back to the show. This is going to be the third episode on YouTube. This is going to be the third time that I'm talking directly into a camera and it feels just awkward as hell. And then I take that super awkward video and I post it on YouTube for people to just judge me. And yeah, Friday would have been the last episode, the second episode on YouTube. And I got my first dislike. I got the first dislike on my video where somebody watched the video and they're like, I can't believe that this man posted this. And they disliked the video. And I screenshotted it when it happened. And I texted Sean, I'm like, I'm quitting YouTube. This is it. I'm done with YouTube. This sucks. Everyone hates me. And then my friends rallied because I was like, this is dumb. And they all liked the video. So I appreciated that from them. But whoever disliked the video, fuck you. But I get where you're coming from because they kind of suck. So I get it. I understand why you disliked it, why you did that. But please don't do that again because it really hurts my feelings. So just that thought out there. I also got my first comment. It was from somebody whose username is dslimed89. So this person is seeking out slime videos on the internet. They're going around YouTube looking at all the different slime videos and doing who knows what with them. And they commented and they said, will you please post the rest of the slime video? Most certainly will not do that. I most certainly will not post the rest of the slime video now, that's for sure. So that's not coming to YouTube anytime soon. You can probably find it on my Instagram though. I posted it there. So if you want to see it, dslimed89, you're going to have to follow me on Instagram at Brandon A. Rose or Twitter or wherever else you want to find me. I'm joining that new Clubhouse app soon, I hope. I hope I get approved for that. We'll see what happens with it. But that was just my thoughts on that. On YouTube, I got a bunch of new subscribers, all friends and family, but it's appreciated because it's fun to watch it grow. It's fun to watch the numbers go up, even if it's just people you know and they're doing it just because they like you. It still means a lot. So thank you to anyone that did that. I don't know how to direct you to my YouTube page, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sure there's more people that are kind-hearted and would come subscribe, but I don't know how to get you there. So I need to figure that out. It's Brandon Rose 76, maybe? I don't know. That's like my old school. That's like the high school football number that's just kind of stuck on my YouTube account, my Google account this whole time. So that might be it. It might be Brandon A. Rose. I'm not sure. I'll look into that and I'll get back to the viewers, to the listeners, whoever it may be out there. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But that's just my first dive into YouTube. Before I got my first like, I got my first dislike. And I had to be someone that I know, right? It had to be someone that just is like secretly hates me and is like, I can't believe this idiot's doing this, but we'll find out. Maybe that person will come forward. A few topics today. The first one, over the weekend, a race happened, and I know that nobody likes racing, so I won't like dive super far into this, even though I could talk about it for the full 24 hours that the race lasted, because that's what it was. It was a 24-hour race that at Daytona International Speedway. Is that what it's called? And it was not NASCAR cars, which I like. I fell in love with last year thanks to the efforts of Tyler to get me into the sport a little bit. It was like prototype cars and like street cars, like Corvettes and Ferraris and Lamborghinis and things like that. And what it was is was 5 races in one going on, 5 different classes, and they start at 12:30 our time, so 12:30 Pacific on Saturday afternoon, and then the race wasn't going to conclude until 12:30 on Sunday afternoon. And they raced 24 hours, teams of 4 throughout the night. And I found myself addicted to this because I like the little nuances in sports. I like the little nuances in activities and events. And if you teach me like little things about it and give me little tidbits that make me just invested, then I'm going to fall for it every time. And that's exactly what I did with the Rolex 24. Is you told me about the Rolex watch that these people get if they win it. And I'm a little bit hooked now. And then you start teaching me a little bit about the drivers and you start teaching me about this and that. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I love this. And I did. And I watched this race. I watched a race that I had no interest in until the day before, because there was one driver in it I liked. Well, 2 drivers I liked, but my favorite driver from NASCAR was in this race. And I watched probably 16 hours of this race. I watched it throughout the afternoon, besides like 2 games of FIFA that Tyler and I played. I missed it for the ZAG game, so there's 2 hours there, so we're down to maybe 20 hours. And then I slept 4 or 5 hours total. My favorite driver, Chase Elliott, he got into the car at like 1 a.m. And at that point, I was like, well, I can't fall asleep now. I got to watch Chase. And so I watched Chase Elliott drive for a while. And then I woke back up at 6 a.m. and I was like, I didn't sleep very much, but I want to continue watching this race. And so I did just that. And I just watched the race. And then I went to brunch with friends they said at 11:30. And I was like, oh, 11:30? Are you kidding me? But I didn't want to be the guy that says no, because we had these plans like earlier. And I was like, yeah, I'll be there. I had YouTube TV up on my phone at Bark in the outdoor tent. I had YouTube TV on my phone so that I could continue to watch the race, especially because this is the end of it. And what was super depressing is I'm watching this thing for hours and hours and hours, and my favorite driver is on this one team. And at 7 a.m. our time, so 5 hours before the end of the race, after we've watched it for 18, 19 hours, their car died. Not in a crash, not in anything weird, but their car just wouldn't shift out of third gear. It just got stuck. And it was like, I just wasted my whole life. It felt like I wasted my entire life to watch this car go around this track for like 18 hours, and it's out. It's done. Which stunk. My favorite driver got back out there once they fixed it, but their part of the race was over then. They had no chance. So it's something cool. They got the winner got really cool Rolexes, which was, I think, maybe one of the coolest trophies you can get in sports. Like, yeah, the Super Bowl rings and championship rings and baseball rings and everything like that, they're fun. But as far as an individual accolade goes, the Rolex is way cooler, because you can, while I would wear my championship ring every once in a while, I could wear a Rolex a whole lot more often than I could a ring. And I would wear it every single day. And it's like the coolest individual trophy in sport, in racing. And so it's fun to see how bad people wanted this ring, and then to kind of put it together and watch these 5 different races go around at once. The next thing is I've come to realize I don't do something enough. I do not wash my masks often enough at all. Not even close often enough. I talk to people that wear it like once and then they wash it, or like weekly. I'm every couple weeks probably, which I think I need to change. I have a bunch of masks, so it's not as gross as I just made it seem, but it sounds like I'm not doing it nearly enough. So I need to work on that. But is washing your mask maybe the best feeling? Like right now, is it one of those new great feelings? The things I thought about today when I was putting on my fresh mask, because I was like, man, fresh sheets are always up there. Everybody loves fresh sheets. There's nobody that's going to argue with that. A new pair of socks, that's always a win, because the socks never feel the same again. You wear them the one time and then they never feel like that again. From then on, they're different, and it's just not the same. And I also said getting a new tie, because I wear ties almost every day. A new tie to me is something fun. That it's fun the first couple times. It's new. It's different. You're hoping you walk around like everyone notices how flash it. Nobody notices. Nobody notices your tie but you. But it's a good feeling. And then there was like masks. Masks are up there. Masks are now top 3 of those feelings that you can get by doing these simple things. And so let me know if there's anything else you think is up there. But washing your masks is up there. And if you're one of those people that washes it after every use, it's probably not up there for you, because it's like it's just a normal thing. But if you're one of those people where it's like a new pair of socks, then you probably get where I'm coming from on this. So that's one of my favorite things. Another random topic today, before we dive into the stock market again, because it's going to happen probably for the foreseeable future while all the craziness is going on. Dustin Pedroia, Boston Red Sox, second baseman. One of my all-time favorites, one of my all-time favorite baseball players, one of my all-time favorite athletes because of everything he's done for the Red Sox. He announced his retirement today, and it's probably, if we're being honest, it's probably a couple years later than it should have come. He probably should have announced his retirement a few years back, but it was one of those things where it's Dustin Pedroia, so no Red Sox fan is going to be mad that he wants to play as long as he wants to play, because we're always going to accept him. So he announced his retirement today, and it's cool when that happens on any team, but a team like the Red Sox especially, where you have all these all-time greats, where you have David Ortiz and just so many people coming out, and Manny Ramirez, and everybody coming out and saying Dustin Pedroia is the man. Dustin Pedroia is one of those guys that you can't replicate, one of those guys that you can't go without on your team. Like, you need a guy like Dustin Pedroia to lead a team, especially if you want to win championships. And that's what he did. That's what he did in Boston, is he brought a couple championships back. So I just had to give a shout out to Dustin Pedroia, because he is one of my all-time favorites. He is one of my all-time favorite baseball players for sure, but just athletes and like cool dudes. Every time he steps up. You called for the laser show. It was the laser show when he hit the ball. It doubles off the monster all the time, doubles out of the triangle, all sorts of things. So it's going to be sad to see him go, but it was definitely time. And he hasn't really played the last couple of years anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a big miss from like a team standpoint. Well, from a team standpoint, it will, but from like a on the field standpoint right now, he hasn't played in a while, so it's not going to be a huge miss there, but it's going to be a huge miss not seeing Petey in the lineup or anything like that. So shout out Dustin Pedroia. Last thing today is the stock market. It's going to keep happening until it stops being crazy. Netflix announced today that they're doing a movie. They've already announced a movie based on what's happening right now. And I think that's crazy. I think that goes to show the magnitude of what's happening and the fact that we can recognize it in the moment. We don't have to wait for this all to be over and said and done to recognize the craziness of what's happening. We can just sit back and be like, this is changing everything. And Netflix did that, and they're going to do a movie about it. My favorite tweet, of course, came from Dave Portnoy saying, if Bradley Cooper doesn't play me, I'm out. Which is fitting because they look a lot alike, and people have been saying it for years, but to actually get the chance to have Bradley Cooper do it, let's go, let's do it. So I'm excited for that to come out. I'm excited to see how they portray it. Are they going to be team little guy? Or are they going to be team hedge funds? I think that Netflix has to take the stance of the little guy, right? That's their consumer. That's their subscriber. There's no way they can make a movie and be like, you guys were the bad guy. You guys are the villains. We take the side of the giant hedge funds, even though these hedge funds probably invest a ton in them, but we'll see how that goes down. But I have to imagine Netflix is going to take the side of I said the good guy, like I think that we're the good guys. I don't know for sure who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Netflix is going to take the side of the retail investor, though. I think that there's no way that they don't do that because that's their consumer. That's they are with the retail guy. So look out for that. I'm sure it'll be down the road quite a ways, but if they can get that done quickly, why can't we do movies more quick than we do? Is it just because of the editing and stuff like that? Get it done, guys. Get it done and get it to me by July so that I can enjoy it while we're still all cooped up inside our house. So that's it for today. A totally random episode. Probably a bad episode, for being honest. I'm okay with saying that. Someone's going to dislike this for sure. But do that. Go to subscribe on Apple. Go and subscribe on Spotify. Go and subscribe on YouTube. Like it, comment, share it. Share it with your friends. Whatever you want to do. I appreciate everybody so much. Thank you. We're out.